Well, it's been about a year since Hurricane Rita hit Sabine National Wildlife Refuge. It was hit with 120-mile-an-hour plus winds, a storm surge exceeding 15 feet, and essentially devastated over a third of the refuge by turning over the marsh and also depositing debris from the communities of Holly Beach, Cameron, offshore oil rigs, and then the local oil and gas industry as well as fishing industry.
Well, there's a lot of hazardous material that's part of the conglomerates, and you mix that with salt water and we have some rusting containers out there. If we don't get it out, we are talking about potentially long-term physical and chemical hazards to wildlife and people.
We have about $12 million set aside for hazardous material cleanup and an additional $48 million to go ahead and help repair some of the facilities such as office buildings, roads, dikes, recreational facilities, water control structures.
Hurricane Rita had a lot of effects on the marsh itself. It brought a lot of salt water on the refuge and it caused a lot of plants to die and affected a lot of the habitat. The alligators, we lost several hundred that we know of just from the storm itself. Their numbers are down considerably. Some of the nest counts that were done this year show about a 50% reduction in the population.
There is no road access, so we are working strictly in an interior wetland area where we have to use specialized equipment that can make a light track and not damage the marshes any more than they've already been damaged by the hurricane and its impacts.
The most important thing after this cleanup that we can do is begin to monitor. The chances of us getting 100% of all the hazardous material out of the marsh is probably slim. If we can get between 75 and 80%, we're going to be extremely happy. But for that hazardous material that has sunk into the marsh, we anticipate as salt water works on the container that it's holding, it is eventually going to release some hazardous material. Once that's spotted, we should have reserve resources in place and with EPA and the Coast Guard be able to go out and address that particular spill.
So we'll actually go in and do what we do best here in Southwest Louisiana, and that's rebuild habitat, recreate marshes.
These marshes serve as a major buffer area during storm surges. And now that these marshes have been damaged by Hurricane Rita, it's very important that we take action to go ahead and restore them as quickly as possible so that they can continue to provide that buffer zone that's needed for these local communities.